We all know that violence against women is one of the most persistent and widespread human rights abuses in the world. We have seen it with the pandemic. Globally, 1 out of 3 women is likely to experience physical or sexual abuse in their lifetime. 1 in 3. Even worse, the COVID-19 pandemic has also exposed the psychological, economic, and emotional abuses that women face, which often remain shrouded in the culture of silence. According to the latest report of the National Crime Records Bureau in September 2020, India recorded an average of 88 reported rape cases daily in 2019, an increase of over 7% compared to 2018. This is unacceptable. Violence and discrimination against women is a human rights violation that hampers the development and the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. And UNESCO is one of the United Nations' first responders in this sphere, working to further gender equality and women empowerment as a global priority since 2008. Our aim is to combat gender inequalities by tackling women's disempowerment, discrimination, and exclusion at its roots, as well as promoting positive redefinitions of norms of masculinities and the meaningful engagement of men and boys for gender equality. I know men care, so we need you. But how do we do this? Firstly, by supporting our member states and partners as they legislate for gender equality, by eliminating discriminatory discourses and practices embedded in our institutions, and by fostering the adoption of inclusive and gender transformative policies. Second, through a change in the mindset, attitudes, and behavior of all, as they prevent all individuals of any gender and orientation from fulfilling their full potential or becoming true to themselves. All the other practices will not work if we don't change mindset. Hegemonic traditional gender norms erase complex layers of one identities and desires and impose rigid expectations on how women and men should be and act in our societies. Stating that one is a caregiver and one is a breadwinner, or that one should have all the decision-making power in the household or outside the household, independently of the personal ambition or skills, is not only unfair to all people and individuals, but it's also terrible for our societies as a whole. Nobody wins in this framework. We all get belittled and disempowered in such schemes. It is only by fighting biases and stereotypes in all spheres of life, so from domestic and childcare to leadership, from sports to the digital world and artificial intelligence, that will be achieved sustainable gender equality. Fighting stereotypes and strange discriminatory social norms will ensure that everyone, regardless of the gender, can succeed and thrive. Let me be clear. This is not easy because families, peers, the media, power structures persistently and recurrently reaffirm these patterns of inequality and prejudice. They repeat all these stereotypes even without noticing. This is why, through this report that we are presenting today, UNESCO seeks to support an emerging consensus on the importance of working with men and boys from all walks of life to change prevailing inequitable gender norms and harmful stereotypes. This one-of-a-kind research aims to distill the experiences and best practices of the best, past and present to develop shared perspective on the way forward towards a more equitable future. As the researchers of this report have pointed out, the social norms that constrain gender equality need to be understood first, then to be changed. Men can be trapped by gender roles and expectations just as much as women are, and they also suffer. I'm convinced that this report will play a pivotal role in simplifying and highlighting the trajectory of these learned behaviors that mimic the dominant societal notions of what it means to be a man or what it means to be a woman. Since these social norms shape the way we experience the world and sometimes reinforce inequalities, greater awareness of the roots of these stereotypes will better equip us to erase gender inequality from our societies. My hope is that the discussions today will leave everyone with plenty of food for thought and a sense of awareness and on the need to step up and contribute to the change, with the report serving as a guiding document in support of our ambition for lasting change. I hope you will enjoy it as much as we did. Thank you so much.